wa Mushomba, this letter, it was written, it was an error. How can you tell me the letter was an error?
But the discussion
you
here...
have a problem even with your tea farmers in your own constituency.
What you just witnessed is a debate between two parties, one defending the government and the other one trying to prove how they do pass bills on allocation of funds to certain projects, but because of the power of the pen, the PSs reallocate those funds that were meant for certain projects to other projects. Now, this is just a proof for those who always tell me that I come with the propaganda, I come with things that are not factual. You know, there's a thin line between living in denial and actually proving what's on the ground. Sometime back when I did come and told you that Kindiki is not the darling or the popular DP that you would think of from Mount Kenya. People are like, you know, that is the deputy president for Kenya. Nobody denies the fact that Kithure Kindiki is now the deputy president of Kenya. But now here, we are talking about issues being popular, issues being somebody who is warm welcome in the region. Get your statements right. I'll play this full clip of Gavoni wa Mushomba, how she claims that one, it is true that there are so many positions that they have been allocated as people of the mountain in government. And particularly, I love this scenario that she's actually giving in, that the region is like a chicken. Unfortunately, they say President William Samoei Ruto has the sweetest chicken. Unfortunately, the slaughter is not a good one. He slaughtered it and poured the gastric juice onto the meat. Now, if you want to understand what Gavoni wa Mushomba meant by this, watch this clip over here.
In my community, in my hoods, in my village, we normally say, if you want to eat a sweet meals served with chicken, trust the slaughterman to slaughter the chicken and not mess with the boil. Is it called the boil? That small the gastric bladder.
Yes.
Because if you mess with it, if it pours on the meat, then you're not going to enjoy that meat.
The same happens also for...
The same happens even for politics. President William Ruto had a very good chicken to be slaughtered. And he systematically gave it to somebody who he knew is going to mess up with the gastric juice. And the gastric juice has poured on the meat. So we have the meat, but we cannot eat it. That is Mount Kenya's perspective of President William Ruto's government. Why do I say that? Because he has explained very well, my brother here, that Mount Kenya, we have the Minister for Finance, we had the Minister for Roads, we had the Minister for Land, the Minister for Water, Minister for almost everything. But those ministers only have a flag and the titles. But when it comes to the power of the pen, the power of the money, rest with the PS. In all those strategic ministries that he has given to Mount Kenya, who are the PSs? They are PSs who report to the president directly. And I know what I'm talking about. We have had scenarios where we allocate budgets in parliament. I fight very hard to have Mau Mau Roads allocated money. I have fought very hard to make sure that the coffee sector, we get money like for the Cherry Coffee Advanced Cherry Fund. And then behind the scenes, somebody with the power of the pen request for reallocation of the same money that we have allocated in parliament without our consent and without our knowledge. And I want to put it in record, Mau Mau Roads, which the president has talked about almost in every meeting whenever he comes to Mount Kenya, promising to finish. Last year's Finance Bill 2023, we allocated 250 million to my constituency and my neighboring constituency to finish Mau Mau Roads. 3 months, barely 3 months after we allocated 250, the PS in charge of that ministry was instructed to reallocate that money and only leave us with 70 million. 70 million was not even adequate to even enable the contractor to mobilize to go back on site. And that is a trend. So these people are here telling us, oh, you have the chicken. It is there for you are eating. Okay. But they have already messed it up. It's already bitter. We can't eat it. Yes. Look, just about 2 weeks ago, I highlighted the same scenario where the minister, when we allocated money for cherry funds in Parliament for coffee farmers, we decided that farmers are going to be given a fund where they can borrow to facilitate their coffee management. It is called Coffee Cherry Advance Fund.
Gathoni Wamuchomba actually has a letter that purports to say that actually the PS is in the rightful lane of wanting to relocate money that was meant for a specific project and relocating it to other groups as grants. And when you look at the groups, they're not even registered. So Gathoni Wamuchomba argues that there is the power of the pen by the PSs who are directed by somebody else. This somebody else, Gathoni Wamuchomba did not say, but we can guess it right.
That money was particularly supposed to be accessed by only coffee farmers. Then the PS, under whoever's instruction, writes a letter to Treasury and requests to reallocate that money from coffee farmers to some funny groups that are not even existed in records. And please remember, this money was supposed to be a loan facility for farmers. Then it is being reallocated to funny groups as grants.
This is my point.
I have the letter here. I can. By the way, this is not propaganda.
Yes,
I have the letter here. I can table the letter because I believe in terms
from the PS. I want you to ask.
Yes.
Are you the spokesperson of the PS?
Totally, no.
And this is
we have to be factual. You're not national television.
You'll get to. I'll come to you, Honorable. Just for a moment. Just be patient.
Even local stations.
Yes, Honorable.
This is a serious conversation. This is a serious conversation.
Are you trying to tell me that I am not factual?
That you're not factual.
I'm not factual. Why? The letter is here.
The PS refuted your statements.
But why? He wrote the letter.
The PS statement.
This is where he wrote. This is the letter.
Okay.
This is the letter. It is written by who?
This is a request for allocation. I'm asking you for the allocation. I'm asking you the statement that the PS issued against your purported letter. There's another statement.
I'm asking you.
There's another statement.
This letter is saying the money should be reallocated. I want you to prove on this national TV that this letter is not factual.
Why are we discussing only one area? Why is the discussion?
Because coffee is not important to you.
Yesterday and the day before yesterday also, I talked about this issue of ODM, presenting a motion to impeach the president, William Samoei Ruto. It shall come to pass. Watch the space. Yeah. I also talked about the video is over here. The link to the video that I spoke about ODM taking a motion to Parliament to impeach William Samoei Ruto. It's just a matter of time. And I told you that Ruto has a tickling time bomb, which is Raila Amolo Odinga. He should really pray that Raila gets the AUC seat, which actually has a very tough competition from Mahmoud Yusuf. Yeah, I also talked about these in this video over here. But now, this political monster that Ruto will create, he will not know how to deal with it, because inside it also, as I said yesterday, there are claims of betrayal from the ODM side that we were to help you impeach the deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, and in return, you would rally and mobilize the resources to support Raila Odinga's candidacy for the AUC seat, which is not happening, which is not seen to be done. And that brings a very bad picture in the political arena. I mean, you don't need to be in State House. You don't need to be in Parliament for you to conduct civic education. Right now, we really don't have an opposition because they are really into the pockets of the government. So it is we, the people, who are the opposition. It is we who need to keep checks and balances for this government. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the Unscripted Talks. If you love content of this nature and you are watching from our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press notification button. So anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. If you're watching from our Facebook page, kindly follow our Facebook page for regular updates. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, DURB Radio ndio mpango mzima.